Tubers, welcome back to another episode of Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Tonight we're going to take a look at a special product, sort of. We're going to take a look at a new beer from Garrison. At least new to me. I think this might have popped up in Nova Scotia before, but I haven't personally seen it yet. But it showed up here at the beginning of August for these, just in time for the Seaport Beer Festival that was up in down in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Their big yearly beer fest they have down on the Seaport waterfront, where Garrison is actually located at. And because they're the home team, they made their own home beer. Seaport Blonde, 4% ABV blonde ale. Says Seaport Crafted Light Ale. GarrisonBrewing.com, and this is actually a bottle that shows off their new labels and their new logo, which is kind of a. It's got the old original cannon from their logo, which is that red circle with the cannon, but instead of having the more like almost Times New Roman font, they've got this new like bold or impact, whatever. They've definitely like boldened their style at least, and it's kind of. I don't know, I'm partial to the old one, but then again I can be very nostalgic at times. But overall, it's not bad. So, let's see if this beer is any better. Let's pop top off of this one. At the time of this recording, I got my laptop up here, and I'm getting ready for BDU. Nobody's home, just me by myself, so I'm drinking some beer. Give this a pour. It looks nice. I mean, it's not. It's a blonde ale. I mean, it's not. Are you really expecting something to be so surprising that you know that it's supposed to be like, oh my god, that looks so sexy? And you know me by now. Take the obligatory photo. Yeah, just be a moment. Close up. There. Anyway, actually, I'm gonna double check that fast. It's too close. That's better. Okay. Yeah. So, you know what? It's got some decent head retention. Very blonde appearance. What were you expecting? Big poofy white head, lots and lots of carbonation. It's just streaming up my innocent gun glass. That is really quite carbonated. Pillowy appearance to the head. Let's give it a sniff. And it smells like your average blonde ale. It's got grassy, subtle metallic, like that herbal hop note. Maybe a hint of like almost like a hint of like lemon or lime. And a very sugary sweet malt. Kind of like a lighter, very light malt. There's not a lot to it. It's mainly just, it smells like a blonde ale. It's mainly just grassy and very lightly sweet. So let's put this thing down the hatch. Cheers. Touch bready in the back. The malt almost comes across as being like a molasses kiss, like a Halloween candy. But very faintly, and it's kind of like the way it sits in the back of the throat. Otherwise, it's very full and carbonated, yet very light, and it finishes dry but leaves a little wetness in the very back of the mouth, like in the very back. I'm feeling a little bit of that still there. But for the most part, my mouth is dried out by the hops. Now, it's not strongly hopped. It's like there's this little, maybe a small intense burst across the top of the tongue that lingers just a little bit with the grassy sweetness, and then disappears. It's almost like grassy lemon. It's very light and very sessionable, though. You know, it's not bad. And I had a couple of bottles of this already, and you know, I wasn't overly super impressed, but I think I like it maybe a little warmed up. It's yeah, and around the back I'm getting more of like this, almost like a bready, toasted grain kind of note. skewing towards corn, but I don't think it's corn. All in all, blondes are a boring style to me. They're not my favorite. I think this is more than acceptable for a blonde, but it wouldn't be the first beer I would personally gravitate to. That said, if you're the kind of fan, if you're the kind of person who is a fan of blonde ales, you may like this. You might also find the hops a little too intense. If you're expecting something that's a little lighter. If you're a fan of Garrison's beers, you'll probably love this. And all I can say about it is I like it. 3.25 out of 5. I find it a little boring, but at the same time, it's definitely a decent beer. So that's my thoughts on Garrison's Seaport Blonde. Try it. If there's some left around, it's not bad, and you could definitely do a lot worse. So thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review. We'll talk to you folks later. Cheers.